we're growing up without borders. If you are new to our channel, I'm Chloe. I'm Angelique.
And I'm Julia. And we're traveling around the world.
And today we are visiting Monterrey, Mexico. Come along.
Let's go.
Managed to condense ourselves back into carry-ons and backpacks, and all we have is this one extra bag and one extra backpack.
Security. But we did good. Now we have like hardly anything. But the thing is, do we want to unload our suitcases?
Why?
Because then all our stuff will be everywhere, and then we'll try to.
Oh, when you have to go through security, yeah. All right, let's go through. So the first thing we noticed is colder. It's freezing cold. It feels like it maybe it's 20 degrees.
Well, like
Celsius,
especially since outside was kind of gray when we were landing, we were like, oh, we're getting to a colder spot.
You can feel the cold air though. I don't think we're ready for it. I think we need to go put on pants and sweaters before we go outside.
Maybe.
I don't know. Hopefully not. First thing you notice when you get out here, there's this taxi stand, and it looks like they get pretty busy. And I'm trying to figure out pricing and everything. Here it says about $10 US per person to go from point to point.
Just see the price.
Let's check Uber and see. We just called an Uber and we can't figure out, he's trying to talk to me in Spanish. We're trying to squeeze 5 of us in his car, and he's kind of like, no, we can't do that. So.
And it's not cold out.
It's not cold.
It was just the AC inside.
Yeah, but people are still dressed, like fully clothed. Some even had winter coats.
But it's not sunny either, so you feel like it would be cold, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not at all cold though. Okay, so we're off to the city center right now if we figure out this Uber. Across from us are police, and I'm trying to tell Chloe, stay down like that so you look like a little kid, because we're going to squeeze her in the back of the Uber and see if we can all fit. That's what we've been doing this whole trip, so I don't know why we'd have to change now. And it reminds me of this one time we checked in a hotel. Often we check in 2 adults, 2 kids, as we're doing tonight. And the guy was like, oh yeah, you have another one. We're like, yeah, she's a little baby, you know, she's really small or whatever. She's just a little niña. And then she was like kind of big already at this point. And I'm like, Chloe, pretend you're like really small. So she was like in my arms. She looked like a giant. But it was a guy, and he was kind of clueless, so he didn't say anything. It was really funny. So we ended up going with a guy who was not an official taxi guy. And as we were driving, we were like, this is probably really not a smart idea because we are in Mexico. And so I started asking him questions like, are you from here? And what's your, normal job? Are you a taxi? What are you? Do you do Uber and all that? Because our Uber guy couldn't take us. So the reason why he couldn't take us is because there was police all on the main street where the airport was. So he didn't dare put 5 people in a car, whereas this guy did. So anyhow, long story short, we made it here safe and sound. And here's where we're checking in for the next couple nights. Do one of you lovely ladies want to take me on a tour of our lovely room? Here we are. So we are squeezing in for the night in these nice, beautiful beds. Tell me.
Well, me and Cinnamon Hearts, but I was expecting it to be some small little mountain village in the mountains, but then it's a big city.
I guess-
6 million people.
No, 16 million, no?
So 6.
Oh, 6 million. I thought you said 16.
I was expecting it to be colder as well since we're up north, but yeah, it's pretty warm.
So were you pretty shocked when you got out and you saw such a big city? If
Maybe.
you thought it was a small mountain village. Oh dear.
Yeah.
This is so funny. This is 20 degrees in Mexico, and people are literally wearing winter coats. It is a bit cold, but it's not that cold. This is what we look like. So funny. What was your thoughts on the walk here?
It wasn't that cold. I mean, maybe the wind, but it wasn't like that cold.
Do we stick out like sore thumbs
Yes,
though?
everyone looks at you.
Every single person, there's a lot of people out there.
It could be just maybe because of our clothes.
They're all
like in
staring.
shorts.
Either they don't have many tourists where we are, or we're all dressed like tourists because we're wearing shorts and they're all in winter coats and long pants. It was pretty funny. This is a typical, authentic Mexican breakfast. So they've got a lot of tortillas here, like this, onions, some hot sauces. But wait till you see what's in their hot things here. Look at this. It's potatoes, and it looks like some yummy cilantro and spices, salchicha. I'm actually not sure what all this is, but I'm gonna have to try some of it to see. Look at, they even have nachos. It smells so good. There's nachos with green sauce on it, refried beans, and some more vegetables, I think, with some sauce. What's this? This looks like eggs with cilantro. Anyhow, it's a typical Mexican breakfast, so that's what we're gonna have. I've never had this before to this extent. That's what, it's the eggs with cilantro. Are you gonna try some of it? No?
I don't like cilantro.
You don't like cilantro? They still have yogurts and fruits as well. Chloe, what did you decide to eat? Do you know what you're eating? Is it good?
What if you're eating raw fish? Well, I thought this was a carrot, but that's not carrots.
What is it? It's not. It's meat.
And it's like straight up jalapeno sauce.
Oh yeah, is it spicy?
It hurts my throat.
Julia's sticking to toast.
Well,
Are you gonna have some of that stuff over there? I'm gonna make myself a whole plate of it. So Angelique decided on making herself like a little muesli with some cereal, yogurt, and apples and such. I ended up doing fruit with yogurt for now anyway. I just can't wrap my head around eating like the Mexican food at this time of day. So I don't know, maybe I'll try some, but nachos for breakfast just doesn't go for me. I decided to give it a try. Quite good. Very flavorful. It's not like the food that we've had in other places. It tastes more rich, I guess. Even the beans taste different. Wouldn't you guys say? Did you try the beans? No? They're good, eh?
they're super good.
Like a stew. That's the best way to say it. It's like stew food, but for breakfast with a Mexican flair. That's how I would describe it.
Really?
Yeah. Let's go discover the town. We've got a huge walking tour that we've got planned out. We were in connection with a lady from the Free Walking Tours Monterrey, and although we're not doing a tour with her, it's always a good suggestion to do. But we're gonna go do our own tour with the suggestions and the list that she gave us. So here we go. There's street food everywhere, and of course it's all typical Mexican food, and there's people everywhere eating out on the streets like you just saw. It's really nice, and they're all super friendly, so they're all talking to us, and it's just really nice.
Okay, so something they do here is there's a bag of green chips that we love, and what they do here is they open it sideways and they put salsa on it.
Like up there.
Yeah.
That's so neat, eh? This guy here looks like an important statue, but we're not sure who he is. It's from 1814. So those of you who are watching the video, please let us know who he is. There's Tim Hortons in this city, so we're excited to find a Tim Hortons and go have, I don't know why they have Tim Hortons. For those of you who are not Canadian, you do not maybe know what Tim Hortons are unless you're from Michigan. But Tim Hortons is like a coffee chain in Canada, and all Canadians like their Timmies. And so we are going to go find one later, have a Tim Hortons coffee. And I was just going to say, so the benefit of going on these walking tours with an actual guide is, of course, then they know what these type of statues are, what they represent, and everything like that. So we're trying to figure this out on our own. We're only here for a day, so, well, we'll do our best to explain to you guys what we do find out and what we do know. So far, the girls' observation is that there's more men on the streets. And so I was explaining to the girls, it's probably because they're out working. Maybe they're all on break. But it's true. You see way more men than women. This looks to be their major shopping zone, or their main street. It's really quite nice. It's beautiful, and it's nice because it's our first time we don't have hot weather.
We have the chips.
Oh, those ladies are eating the chips. Okay, let me see if I can film them with being discreet. Got a problem. The girls now want to go shopping, but we have a city tour to do. Let's go. More shopping, more shopping, more shopping. We're never going to get through this tour. Look at this beautiful bank. Look at their nice buildings here.
Here comes another statue.
This guy here is a general, obviously, who served in one of their wars. And then there's another one there in a distance. It's a really big city. Monterrey is actually the third largest city here in Mexico, and it's the capital of the state of Nuevo León. Wish sometimes we could capture the smell of a city, because right now it smells so fresh and so green. It feels like we're in the nature, and yet we're in the middle of the city center. But there is some green around us, like there is a park. So it looks like that. This is their Palacio Municipal de Monterrey, so I'm believing, guys, I might be wrong, but I think this is their city hall.
Here behind me is the Museum of Contemporary Art, and it's free on certain days.
Today is Wednesday, so today is free, and normally it is about $3.50 to go in, so very affordable. We're going to go for a quick tour. Here's something interesting. It's not a real casino, it's a country club, but they call it the Casino of Monterrey.
So this fountain is called Neptune Fountain. And over here, this is their feeder.
This here is their library, which is right in the heart of the city center.
So it's a really green city. Like there's like parks and gardens, and over there there's actually like plants hanging out of the building. So this here is their palace.
Place reminds me of San Antonio, Texas, because when you're in San Antonio, if you don't know already, most of you do, but they have like the Riverwalk, very similar to this one. A little more lively, but I'm sure this one gets lively too, maybe on weekends, or maybe there's more to see. maybe we're just taking our time, but I feel like it's a good 20 to 30 minute walk. So somebody from Canada showed up, because you see that in the distance? That thing's a Canadian inukshuk. So they make those. I didn't actually know they were Canadian, but they are. Okay, so a couple things. We are way overdressed. It's really warm here and beautiful, and we're still wondering why people are walking around with their jackets, but I think it gets cold at night, kind of like in the desert. So the second thing is this mountain behind me is called Cerro de Silla. It has like a saddle shape to it, and the highest peak is 1,800 meters, so it's quite high. And if you're adventurous and you feel like a really good workout, you can actually climb it. The other thing is there is a teleferico. I'm not sure though, because I can't see it or which way it goes up, but apparently you can take a teleferico up. And there's lots of trails and everything like that, but it looks like it would be on a really steep incline. So this here's the river. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful city. And this mountain right there is called the Mountain El Fraile. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but inside that, you can actually go inside the caves. It's named after a bishop, I believe, and it's absolutely beautiful. So it's about 45 minutes to get over there, but well worth it from the pictures I saw. And you have to go up the teleferic to go inside. So you go up the teleferic or you walk up, and then you go inside to see the caves. So I believe that's the mountain there and not the one in front of me. That has the teleferic, so I don't think this one has a cable car that goes up. So you need to be in good shape if you want to do it. So one thing that's really nice is all along the walkway here, they have public bathrooms, several along the way, so it's always helpful. And if you want to know about some of the airlines to get here, there are some great, kind of like the easy jets in Europe. There's one called Valeris, and you can fly domestically for really good prices.
Distance over there's a steel factory now turned into a museum called an Horno, which means oven. And we actually saw something just like this while we were in Ostrava, Czech Republic. And over there as well, there's also a theme park, kind of water park called Sesame Street. So, yeah. Okay, we just found a sign for dinosaurs. Check this out. Guys, are there dinosaurs? Cool, is there a dinosaur? Oh. So it's like being in Jurassic Park. Apparently they've got like some rides and zip line and stuff, so it looks pretty cool. So this is Horno, and it's a science and technology museum.
We're all getting just pooped and exhausted, and basically we're in this park. It's Fundidora Park. It's massive because you've got this steel factory, now a museum, and then if you continue on that way, you go to the Sesame Park and or Sesame Street Park, whatever you call it, and it's just really big and it's beautiful. It's green. There's people out walking and biking and rollerblading, and it's just a beautiful area. So I'm sure on a weekend it probably gets packed. Here at a Thai restaurant for some much needed Thai food in our systems. Here in Mexico, it's kind of funny. I'm gonna try yours. So after a long day of walking throughout the city, it feels so nice to come back to the hotel and know that we're gonna have a good night's sleep, because here they have really comfy beds. We're staying at La Quinta, which is right downtown, and walking distance to a lot of things. Home sweet home for the night. Chloe's going to see the view. We changed rooms. Can we see the mountain? Let's see.
Yeah, we can.
see. Oh yeah, in the morning
There's
I think
a
we're going to be
building
able to
cab
see.
blocking it.
Oh, cool. We're going to get a really nice view of the mountain in the morning time.
And the highway.
Another Mexican breakfast here this morning. Got some refried beans, some potatoes with tomato sauce, and I call them taco stew, nacho stew. I don't know what it is, but it's really good. It's funny to eat chips and beans for breakfast. A really good overview of the park. So you can see this is the river that you go on with the boat. Here's the pretty bucket that we showed you yesterday. Here's some of the, well, there's the museum, but it just goes all the way around. There's stuff to do all throughout, so you can rent bikes there. That's cool. I saw a bunch of those yesterday. That would have been fun to do. Centermex. Not sure what that is. Centermex.
Oh, we're in.
Here we go. We decided to come back today to go to El Horno number 3, which is this big factory here, and the Technology and Science Museum. So this whole time in Monterrey, all I've heard was, can we go to Tim Hortons? When can we go to Tim Hortons? Can we go to Tim Hortons? And yesterday we were like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then the day went by and then we were all hungry and it was dinner and it just didn't work out. So we are now going to Tim Hortons.
Yes!
Before we head out. So going for our Canadian experience. And this ends our trip here in Monterrey.
Thanks for watching our tour of Monterrey, Mexico.
Please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. And don't forget to comment down below where you're watching from. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Adios.
Better value at this Tim Hortons than even in Canada, right?
We're so excited. Bagel.
So good.
Timbits.
What was interesting is that the bagels weren't on the menu, were they?
No.
They're a bit different. They have extra cheese.